Alright guys, welcome to another playthrough on this channel. We are going to be playing the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now you're probably thinking, if you guys didn't see my last channel update, you're probably thinking, why are you playing this game? Shouldn't you be finishing the Pheonix Wright trilogy? Well, I figured if I don't... The thing is, if I do the third game, people said it's very long. It might take me like a while to finish. So I figured, let's get the Ace Attorney Chronicles out of the way for now. And like, so I could actually put it as a list for 2021 games that I've completed. Because if I delay this game too long, I might be bothered to play other games in the meantime. So let's get started, shall we? I believe we're going to be doing... Oh yeah, as to check the options, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna be doing this in Japanese voices. You're probably thinking, why aren't you doing English voices? I thought you're a fan of English. Well, honestly, I want to see Japanese for a change for this game. Plus, I heard there were like special good voice actors for Japanese. It's not that I don't like it's not that British voice actors. I could choose English if I really want to. It's just that I think I'd be better choosing off Japanese for this game. I think just for this game. So like yeah, but if you guys want to see an English playthrough, you guys can go to like Johnny Awesome, maybe Nico B, because they're playing these games whatsoever. And like, yeah, let's get started on episode 1. We got Great Ace Attorney Adventures, Grace Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. So let's get started on Grace Ace Attorney Adventures. What gun? Well, that just went from 0 to 100 real fast. Adventure Episode 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure. November 22nd, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature Defendants Antechamber 5. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Save your glares, murderer. Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer, and I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, until the judge has given his verdict on the case. No one has the right to treat him as a criminal, so you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you know how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course, sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm really sorry. Ha 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 ha. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I can never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, concerning he's a graduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. He said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma, truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. Looks like you're going to get a study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan and immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean, to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We have a wild tide tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better get going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea, after all. It's not every day you get a visit to a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then, partner. So you're at a fancy restaurant? It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Well, hello there. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now, Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. For you advocating the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. There seems to be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at a university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. This is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor at the Forensic Medicine at the Yume University. Professor Mikotoba, I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma's studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel like you should know. Know what? Well, as you no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go to study in Great Britain. However, if you should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has come from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission in even the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will not be an easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right? So? Oops. As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. And when that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what would the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem that our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. Allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway! This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over, and what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with the absolute no idea what to lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial would decide my destiny. 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature Courtroom 2. So, this is a courtroom? Whoa, it's huge. Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't like much look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms are in there. The powers that demanded this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to the ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now. You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. I have to use his voice again. As is the defense. Before we begin, there's one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedures for the defendant's advocacy is to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's gonna defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Answer I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that, I, Rionelski, not already defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Rionelski? Professor Mikotoba told me everything just now, just before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba should have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defense's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Announcing his own counsel? Really? Objection. Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent. He is confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Yes, exactly. Exactly what wasn't I thinking? Or wasn't thinking, I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court? You must have perpetrated a heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubting aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. I can't even speak those words. Judicature. According to the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, you can't be questioning it more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Yes. Kindly say before the court the name of the victim in this case. That's easy enough. I heard this name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Inosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of E. If you ever forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press E for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list of evidence you collected. Now switch to people instead with E. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press Z to go back. Kazuma Sugi, blah blah blah, best friend despite a qualified defense lawyer as well, 23. Mikotoba, medical school professor at the Imperial University, is authority in forensics medicine, Cosmo's mentor, 42. Taketsuchi Aochi, he reminds me of a certain someone from every first case of the first two game. The lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes the cultural reformation has brought about. John H. Wilson, the victim of this case. He was a visiting professor of medicine at Yuma University from the British Empire. John H. Wilson. I guess he's the victim. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the People's section of the court record and press R to present. I'll press it now. Victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor of England, invited to Yuma University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such a profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. As most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. Can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. Is that really what it's called? The Treaty of Friendship? Is that what we're gonna go on? Fuck it. Alright, fuck it. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil. You both are both graduates of the Imperial Yuma University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education? Have you no honor? I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient, expendable scapegoat for the blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has unusual peculiarities, isn't it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties don't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. It's better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in an English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at the university. I'm sure he's visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did the Professor of Medicine John H. Wilson lose his life? State before the court or the cause of death. Cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by a loss of blood from the gunshot to the chest, but did not pass through the victim's body. But you know, Skay, remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and present. Do it now. Alright. Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's post-mortem report, I take it? Sorry, yes, that's right. Post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpse to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be testing any of this later. This is so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullets hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, Counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into court. Photograph of the victim has been entered into the court record. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. Bullet wound. I don't get what this magnifying glass is for. I guess we'll find out. Okay, shortly after 2 p.m. Blah blah blah. Bullet did not pass through the body. Okay. I like it when we can examine the clue even further, but we'll see. I missed that from Case 5 of the Pheonix Wright first game. It's clearly superior to a drawing, but the detail is incredible. It's black and white though. Very well, I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness. It was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out the professor had in mind. Professor, you mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. That doesn't mean... Well, I could still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. He was speaking with me here before. He simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but anyway, you can give me... Any help you can give me would greatly appreciate it, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is... rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. How does the headband move? Who is this guy? Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I'm the head waiter at the restaurant called La Carnival. It's blood. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district by now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an accidental eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Also, Naga-san, would you kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident? At once, sir. No petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? Well, just after 2 p.m. on the day of question, I have a few diners at the time of day. Lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in that place. It was when in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. And boom, gunshot rang out as I hurried to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman slumped in his chair. Standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Hold on, let me just clarify something here. I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor. I didn't shoot him. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report on what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt in an appropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Yunosuke. You have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness. I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see in court today. The man is coughing blood. It's not normal. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from my accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did you just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? It's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, someone was there. There was a woman sitting opposite of him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Fuck, I'll wait and see. I desperately wanted to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, your parents tell you to study. You're the kind of man who would do to get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I never have gone to university otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright? You scared me? I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say it. Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson was alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accursed, just mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Osanaga-san, is there any chance that you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to the dine alone. I don't believe it. Have a rough plan up the restaurant as it was today. Please have a look if you like to. Let me see. Oh, a sketch would be established and drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right, I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan over to the court officer at once. Of course, here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered to the court record. Can you stop coughing? So, the court has now heard the process of this case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today.
It would seem that we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you admit you're good at the stage, the court is willing to look mercilessly upon you.
In other words, you may have some small repeat of your terms and inevitable punishment. I call this waiter as a unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. I must warn the defense if we are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. I am losing my voice. Sorry, guys. Drinking water. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who are present at the scene of the crime.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Going to be found guilty. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence?
Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor Mikasoba said it, then so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing to go throw that trust back in my face. Is that it? What? The accuser is in fact innocent. The defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that the innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty and give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. Not guilty, nopers. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see how decisive this evidence really is.
Indeed. Prosecutor Aochi, please continue with proceedings.
Well, you were warned. A young can be so reckless. You know, you may call me a saint, but I can only be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once.
Who are these guys? Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. I'm the great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yusunosa, reporting for duty, sir.
Myself, I find myself employed in the purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the for instance of our nation Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute to humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Korikuda at your service.
An antique dealer and a soldier, what an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. He must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself,
Habitry take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios which make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer. It sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He's obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of the most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! That army unit was seen attacking a foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was back that black forged uniform rogue infantry over there who unloaded his firearms.
Or why did I hear a baby voice? This man is as impossible to understand as the other. I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during the last thing he said.
So, the decisive evidence that the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment he shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment of the incident occurred. Yes, sir. Standing by to report, sir. I hear another baby noise again. Unsavory memories of the most acerbic afternoon? Witness testimony. What the witnesses saw. Ingesting a regular beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. That precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I discerned the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian in front of back the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating whereabouts of the mysteriously absconded precious curio. Oh, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. Yeah, I saw a split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir, affirmative, sir. The wicked university cadet, sir. The cadet cruel, unforgivable enemy. What times we lived in, when an Englishman gentleman may have been assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun I saw lying on the floor. Why would you pick up the gun? Of all the things to do, why pick up the gun? Of course it's going to be traced back to you. If I said hello to Dr. Russo and I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. That's when I finished. I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair next to the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang. That's the truth. There was obviously a criminal in the scene somewhere. Somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellency, there's no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. This man is clearly guilty. It's time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony that the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this What in the name of Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I am the mean of defense. Demands the right to a cross-examination. Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimakiba head boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How did he know? Prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How could he possibly carry out a cross-examination? Defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Yeah. Cosmo's so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins for Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All I need to present is some decisive evidence and indisputable evidence that proves that the witness is lying. Now let's go, Pheonix. Don't let them beat you. Alright then, it's all or nothing. Cross-examination. I was investigating a regular Asian beefsteak at the restaurant. What happened? A tactical session with the old man press. What the fu- Well, why aren't you saying anything? This is some kind of new interrogation technique? I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask. Just ask about anything that catches your attention. Anything that bothers you. Alright then, this beefsteak you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Shishun. Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill. It's serving piping hot. Oh. If food is receive medals of honor, beefsteaks will be almost highly decorated as a cutlet. Right, I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Tinshun! Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal roast tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it. Yes, sir, I will, sir. On the double, sir. Wait, why am I answering this? Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case? Oops, sorry. I'll do my best. So next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing a sort of wah crying noise? Negative! Well, at least we learned that he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. Not easy knowing what questions to ask. I myself was extolled to purchase particularly fine curio that a military gentleman. I have no idea what you're talking about. A Koban boy. Koban, you mean an old Edo coin? The day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value had been Hoei period entered in my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day with said item secretly in my bosom pocket, in the hope of an influent cognizant praise all of its indisputable value being present. So you're hoping to sell your Koban coin? To Sergeant Nosa, whom you met at the restaurant? Yes, it's quite clear you're going with this, boy. You were about to assert that a penniless soldier would have hope of purchasing a precious Koban. Isn't that so? Well... You little upstart cadet! You want to be adding disrespecting the superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination! No, I didn't say anything. Although, penniless might be just the word I was looking for. In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that. At the midday luncheon, there remained a precious few present whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. Gentleman Asabu was wrapping his braised view at the time. It was my sole prospect. I see. At that precise moment, a fire went to start. I observed the enemy's action in my own eyes. So, you're saying that you actually saw me at the time? Affirmative, I saw you! Laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the bearer of your gun on this English civilian. But that's impossible. I only... Allow me to confirm one point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been after you heard the gunshot that you look over to the victim's table. So what if it was? Well, if that really is the case, would it mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment the killer actually fired the gun? Double My sixth sense! What, sixth sense? Sorry? My sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves of a murderous energy radiating from your foul mind, which means a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet. Surely that's not really possible, is it? Do you think I got to where I am today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son? Well, it would seem that this soldier is absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed. This is not good. A black uniformed RC cadet fired on the English civilian in the back of the cowardly little weasel. So this black uniform university cadet, are you saying that was... I had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in black uniform, huh? Well, there is someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you unloaded the firearm on that man from behind his back, and you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon. You disgust me. What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure, but something that Sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you gathered in the court record. If you find an inconsistency there, what the witness just said, don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court, thrusting it upon the witness's face and making him choke on it. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of a mysterious assault and furious curio. On your hands and knees? You can explain that, please. That's right. Disperting the arthritis, I was in order to retrieve the lost piece. What lost piece are you referring to? The Koban, of course. The exquisite horn. Era Koban corn. I had just been showing the rarest treasure to the military man as he masticated his meal. Whatever in his eyes for the briefest of moments, was there no more. It was simply vanished. The Koban, vanished? Hence I began to acquaint myself with the intricacies of the floor in order to locate it, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Not other than that, there was no concern of mine, frankly scoring the floor for a aforementioned lost treasure. So in fact, you didn't actually witness the precise moment when the incident occurred? Indeed, myself, I did not. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Listen, Ryunosuke. You know there are lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them. I understand that, but the question is, how? Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence while a witness has been giving testimony by pressing E. Go through each witness's statement and the details about each piece of evidence and compare all the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency. An inconsistency? When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seem to contradict each other, present your evidence with R, and we will rip the witnesses apart. Just be careful. You want to assert a contradiction that has no basis that you've been given a penalty. If you're dealt with too many penalties, the defense case will fall apart and you will receive a guilty verdict. So that's it. Peruse the evidence in the court record and find inconsistency with the witness' statement. Alright, I'll give it a try. You can hear the witness's statement over and over again as many times as you like. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner. I think it's the fourth statement. He fired the civilian from the back. So I want to present something. If you look at the photo, he was shot from the front. And he died. So he was no way shot from the back. So let's present this. Why is it so quiet all of a sudden? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Trusting some photographic print in my mustache? An inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here.
Hey, what nonsense! What can his print possibly tell us that we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth.
I think this proves beyond without any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom.
This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. Spell it out for it to be an insult to the court. Cosmo,
what are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here at the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant Ines Sonosa. Yes, sir, what, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir, affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because. Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What was that? Something just popped out from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly this is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir, at least this juncture that would appear to be indisputable. To the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious carnival steak, sir.
What?
Last testimony, the court has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Ines Sonosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
Yeah, but that's absurd.
I think that the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom.
Yeah, Garg.
There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. Oh, ace attorney. But I definitely saw him! That university cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up from off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either?
Myself, I haven't really been quite clear. The gunshot interests me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Oh yes, you were looking for your Koban coin, weren't you?
Indeed, the prize Koban. Hunting around the table, it was just in the case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but he did not. I was concerned only for finding my absconded Hoey treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest, where did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
The lamentable day the precious Hoban coin was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
As I am sure that everyone is present is aware, this case demands a swift, decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon.
Nevertheless, this witness's testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive, no matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British. It'd be unforgivable to deliver the verdict on this trial right now.
What is your position, Prosecutor Alchi?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger in front gate, but you'll find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing the next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly commit this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What?
He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he?
Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
As a curical glass, Your Excellency?
Yes, sir, at once, sir. Waiting signal to testify, sir.
Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think.
Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family is to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name Ido.
Seem like those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny.
Ido Tinshin. Your father's about to quell the enemy. And watch and learn, my boy.
Another witness testimony. The true culprit.
If what I saw at the precise moment the firearm was discharged is almost the same thing.
Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was. Long lad in black, I didn't much myself did see.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed there was only were the only personnel present.
Indeed, alone he was the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Therefore, no one in the back uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. These testimonies are certainly compelling.
Wait, that's nonsense. Victim Dr. Wilson wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of this outburst already. There was a young woman at his table. He must have seen her. Everyone must have seen her. If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We not to hear listen to your fantasies. There's evidence beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel?
Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As it can plainly be seen, there's only one place set.
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print. It would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else.
This doesn't make any sense.
Who will add this new photographic evidence to the record?
A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen at the victim's table. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that no one else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true! I saw her! I swear I saw a woman with him.
It seems that we'll be able to telegraph the report up to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the tree with Great Britain. Think that I, Takatsuchi Yauchi, will have contributed the amity of these two great empires is an honor.
How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It is not over yet.
What?
What you say is true. There's something going on here behind the scenes. Now's your chance to expose it. Draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Cosma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses to make it quick, understood?
Rules can be so unbending at times.
Cross-examination time. Even what I saw was the precise moment the firearm was discharged. It's almost the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun.
We have a difference in opinion on that. The opinion of an uninformed officer versus the fledgling cadet.
I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? You're wearing glasses. How could I tell if you can blink? How could I? And yet is undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it.
Have what? Attention! The sound of a firearm rang in my ears in the very next moment. I saw you waving a rape gun at the Englishman.
Think that says it all, don't you? And let us not forget the antique dealer witnessed the accused in the most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Kurakura-san?
Alright, press. I have a feeling I know what it is, but we have to press as much info as possible. Yes, it may be Charles holding the gun at that point in time. But I told you already, that's only because I picked it up on the floor. I have no idea why I picked up the gun, even though it implicates me.
Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away.
I just finished drinking my coffee. I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun off the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. Exactly at that moment, bang, a gunshot rang in my ears.
Revenge beyond our control, life is.
Sorry, what do you mean?
In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated the testing predicament. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and finding myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains myself, I did see you, with the pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises, okay? You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
As you have pains to point out time and time again, I feel a growing callus in my ear. And yet no one here has ever caught a glimpse of this woman.
Only there have been more people in the dining there at the time than someone else would have noticed, sir. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. Quiet time between lunch and dinner at any restaurant. I know, of course, the place was almost empty. It's what you expect. Certainly 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at the time of the day, why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason.
There was?
This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
What is that, Counsel?
It's a medical report card, Your Excellency. It seemed that the victim had an appointment at a clinic to visit the restaurant.
Hoda Clinic. Yes, there will be here to be an entry for dating Hoda Clinic. Very familiar place. 19 November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident.
So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation could be more simpler. Prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case.
I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it is hard to see how it can be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson to submit it as evidence or not? If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
We are not there concerned. It's up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon?
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well, the court will grant the defense's request.
Yeah, youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend.
Officer kindly add the victim's medical report to the court record. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you.
You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but is the day after the festival ready for you? Or perhaps you've forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate the accused, Korakuda-san.
Indeed, although he was the Englishman dining all by himself. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dying alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in.
So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? Let's not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can be clearly seen, there's only one single beef stick on the victim's table, a meal for one.
No. The antique dealer, the sergeant, the waiter, who testified before, it's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Press. Why aren't you telling the truth? What? What did you say, Cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you have failed to see the professor's dining companion. It's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's just not the case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter whose testimony the court heard earlier clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right.
Precisely, in other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady.
But I...
If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecutor demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecutor demands no further mention of the phantom woman be made. It's a plain waste of this court's time.
There's nothing I can do to say to that. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see the medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? This is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine a little more detail. How exactly? You notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass, ones that you may examine. Press space and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use up, down, up, left, down, right.
To rotate the evidence in all directions, examine it from all angles. Using WASD. Ah, they brought this back, I see. You can move the crosshairs around to hint for clues which may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press spacebar to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there's something new to be learned by examining in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Use up, down, left, right, WASD space to inspect any areas of evidence that look suspicious. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. And there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe that there's anything that could stop you from feeling pain. There's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink beside water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have been passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. So he can't eat or drink... So he can't eat or drink anything but water. With this new information, the meaning of the one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Not only was English and dying by himself, that's not true because... Present. Can't really do anything about that. Well, I think,
But what are you littering, lad? You call yourself a lawyer.
I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. You know, Skye. Everyone stumbles under words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clear in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raise your hand straight up like that, so purposely, you knew exactly what you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Korakuda-san, this is a medical report belonging to the victim.
Oh, I see, and I don't see what of it, boy.
Compare what is written on the report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You're not to interrupt the court proceedings with your amateur's dribble. But, let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may have done before that time is completely irrelevant. Grr, but that's, remember, Ryonosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make sure you make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we are finished here. There is certainly no need for to prolong this trial further. The witness will testify as the court has been heard and clear and concise. Medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all. It's a simple reason that there is no one else beside the pale-faced pupil who could have perpetuated this crime. Miss Medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? What? That outburst had petrified me, boy. Of course I believe. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps he hold a clinic It's just you the report card. It's a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted.
What's this now?
If furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating.
Huh. Just what you were trying to say, you cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what?
It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Kurakuda-san.
What, boy, what?
As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally,
There's more?
you have assured that the court is with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that can't not possibly be the case.
Grrr.
Because the victim, as we now know, had already had one of his teeth extracted and was experiencing the effects of anesthetic. Gah! Expertly done, partner. What? What is this nonsense, you little upstart? There are baseless accusations. Just look at the photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table. Use your head. That's clearly the discrepancy we're talking about, or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely.
So having undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leads to one very crucial conundrum.
Hold up a second. Alright. I think we're running out of time. We already passed an hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, next time on Pheonix Wright Ace Attorney. No. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
In fact, eating the picture beef steak.
The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel. Alright, so we're gonna save the game. So next time on Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Adventures, we're gonna be continuing off with episode 1, and hopefully we can get far with this case. See you guys all next time.